Hello, my name is Alison and I work for the National Autistic Society Scotland in Inverness. The National Autistic Society is the UK's leading charity for people on the autism spectrum and their families, and we want to create a society in the UK that has better autism understanding and has some more autism friendly spaces. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it will give you a better understanding of autism, which will help you to better understand and support any customers that you have coming in. Thank you very much for your support. So to start with, let's find out what you know about autism already, with some myths and facts. The first one is that more than 1 in 100 people are autistic. Is it a myth or a fact? It's a fact. That's right, more than 1 in 100 people are autistic, which means the chances are you know an autistic person or you know of somebody who is autistic. That's a lot of customers coming into shops and cafes. A survey that was conducted in 2017 found that 64% of autistic people avoided going into shops and cafes, and that 28% of autistic people had been asked to leave a public space because of their autism. So your support will really help to change that. Number 2, people tend to grow out of autism in adulthood. Is it a myth or a fact? What do you think? It's a myth. Autism is a lifelong condition and autistic children grow into autistic adults. Statement number 3, both boys and girls can be autistic. Is that a myth or a fact? It's a fact. Both boys and girls can be autistic. Autism is more prevalent in boys. There are more boys diagnosed, but you can get both autistic girls and boys. Statement number 4, some autistic people don't speak. That's a fact. That's true. Some autistic people don't speak. They are non-verbal. That has nothing to do with their intelligence. It is just a sign that they might need to use an alternative communication method. Number 5, autism is a mental health condition. That's a myth. Autism is not a mental health condition, but autistic people can have good or poor mental health, just like everyone else can. Statement number 6, all autistic people are geniuses. That is a myth. That is not true. All autistic people are different. Many can live independently and others might need more support throughout their life. Autism brings some challenges, but it also has huge strengths as well. And the last one, everyone is a little bit autistic, aren't they? That's a myth. Whilst we might relate to autistic traits, no one is autistic unless they have been diagnosed as autistic. So, what is autism? Autism is a developmental difference in the brain. We don't know what causes autism, but it isn't something that can be cured. And in fact, the idea of a cure is deeply distressing to many autistic people and their families. Autism impacts the way a person interacts with and understands the world around them. It's lifelong and a spectrum condition, which means it's different for everybody. And all autistic people are individuals with their own likes, dislikes, talents, challenges, dreams and ambitions. How will you know if the customer you're serving is autistic? Well, the simple answer is that you won't know because autism is a hidden disability. Some people, though, might use an alert card, such as the Autism Alert Card, or they might use a sunflower lanyard. Sunflower lanyards signify a hidden disability, not just autism. It could be a visual impairment or deafness or Alzheimer's, but that person just needs a little bit more understanding and time. What does it really mean to be autistic, and what sort of things can help? One of the big ones is extra processing time, because some autistic people might need some extra time to process information. Lots of spoken information all at once can be a bit of a jumble, and it might take a few seconds or even minutes for an autistic person to make sense of it all. And that person might need a little extra help to fill in forms or digest lots of written information. It might be helpful if you write things down for an autistic person or show them pictures, for example, pictures of a choice of things in a cafe. But what might it feel like to have that jumble of information? Try our quiz. How many questions can you answer?
Hello and welcome to Take a Minute, the show that puts your brain to the ultimate test. Let's see how many questions you can answer. Are you ready? Your minute starts now. Who painted the Mona Lisa? Was it Da Vinci, De Niro, or DiCaprio? Which planet is closest to the Sun? Venus, Mercury, or Mars? In which year did the Battle of Hastings take place? 1066, 1666, or 1966? Who invented the light bulb? Was it Bell, Ford, or Edison? In which year did the Titanic sink? 1912, 1945, or 1991? What is the capital city of China? Shanghai, Tokyo, or Beijing? Who was the first man to walk on the moon? Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, or Michael Collins? How many events take place? Shanghai, 5, 11, Beijing. In which year did China invented Buzz Aldrin? Japan, Vietnam, or 1991? Who painted the Mona Lisa? In which Did you get all that?
That's certainly not an easy quiz. But how could you help an autistic person? Here are some ideas. So speak slowly and clearly. Give the person more time to answer. Give them that second or minute that they need. And don't ask lots of follow-up questions. If you need to ask again, don't rephrase the question. If you need to, ask the same question again with the same words. If you ask another question, the autistic person will have to start processing from the beginning. Lots of things can cause autistic people to be anxious. This includes social situations, something like using public transport, meeting new people, and going to the shops and cafes, or visiting a new and busy place like the theatre. So social situations can cause a lot of anxiety for many autistic people, and so can unexpected changes and events. You might have heard that autistic people tend to like routines. This is very true for many, and organising their day and knowing what's planned can be very calming. But sometimes, as we all know, plans go wrong and changes need to be made at the last minute. A train can get delayed, a bus cancelled, a meeting moved, and friends might cancel plans to meet for coffee. These unexpected changes can cause an autistic person a lot of anxiety. So how could you help an autistic person who's anxious? Well, remember, we all get anxious from time to time. Some things might help you to be less anxious, and that's true for the autistic person too. But the main thing to remember is just to be kind and treat the person like you'd like to be treated. Be understanding about their situation and what might be causing them to be anxious, and be helpful if they want help. They might not. Some people might not need you to be there for them. We're going to look now at sensory sensitivities, which is something that you might know about anyway relating to autism. Some autistic people can be over or under sensitive in their senses. And in fact, some people might fluctuate between being over and under sensitive, depending on how anxious they are. Somebody who is oversensitive might not like bright lights or loud sounds, might not like being touched, and might not like strong flavours or smells. You might see somebody wearing sunglasses or ear defenders to help that. Somebody who is undersensitive might love bright lights and loud music, and love strong flavours and smells. Our next video is of a young boy in a shopping centre. He is overwhelmed by the sensory environment there. Just have a think about how difficult it will be for that young boy in that environment, And for his mum too. Look at the judgy face of the lady going past and think about her reaction to him. But he's not naughty, he's autistic.
Six, 7, 8, 9. Take my hand. No, Alex. It's fine, isn't it? It's fine. I'm not naughty. I'm autistic. And I just get too much information.
How can you help? Well, sensory difficulties vary hugely between autistic people, so there's no environment that's right for everyone. And we know that you're not going to be able to make huge changes in the work environment. But if someone's having a difficult time because of sensory sensitivities, there might be small things that you can do which will make a huge difference to them. You might be able to offer them a quiet space to sit down for a while. You might be able to turn down the music that's playing, or turn down the lights and stop noisy tannoy environments. Those small differences will make a big difference to your autistic customers. When there is just too much information to process or too challenging a sensory environment, an autistic person might have a meltdown. Just as all autistic people are different, meltdowns can be very different too. Some people might be very quiet and almost shut down. Others may cry or seem upset. It's important to recognise that autistic meltdowns are not a form of misbehaviour. They are the response to the very challenging situation or environment. So how could you help an autistic person who's having a meltdown or shutdown? There are a few things that you could do, but the main one is just not to judge the person or their behaviour. It might look as if the child is having a tantrum, but are they? Are they an autistic child who's just got too much information and is overstressed by the sensory environment and they're having a meltdown? Similarly, an adult who is upset might well be having a meltdown or shutdown. You can help by not judging the person and their behaviour, and see if they would like any help, like pointing them towards a quiet space if you have one. Hopefully you've got a few ideas already about how you can help your autistic customers. And remember, autistic people have every right to socialise and go shopping, go to the cinema or the theatre and use the leisure centre. A public space should be just that, public. Autistic people and their families also represent a big potential customer group who might choose to come to you. So doing good things for autistic customers will do good things for your business too. What can you do? Well, just by watching this video, hopefully you've improved your own understanding of autism, and that will help you to improve the experience of autistic customers coming into your premises. To help further, if you'd like to, take part in World Autism Awareness Week every year. It happens at the end of March, and there are loads of events that you could organise which would help to raise some funds and awareness for the National Autistic Society. Thank you. In summary, here are 3 top tips to being more autism friendly. Number 1, reduce or remove anything that might cause a sensory overload. We know that you can't make huge changes to the environment you work in, but any small change might make a big difference to your autistic customers. Number 2, reduce your language. Speak clearly and give time for processing. And number 3, be kind and patient. Ask the person or their parent or carer if they would like help, and give them time and space. Thank you for your support. Thanks again for watching this video. If you'd like any more information about the support that's available for autistic people and their families in Highlands, there are lots of organisations who can help. My service as the Information Officer for the Highlands for the National Autistic Society Scotland is for parents and carers of autistic children, but there are services for adults too. If you'd like any more information, just get in touch with me. My email address is highland.informationofficer@nas.org.uk. Thanks again, and bye-bye.